They said, if you stand before this mirror at exactly 3:17 a.m., you won't see your reflection. You'll see the dead. Tonight, Ayaan decided to prove whether it was a myth or a death sentence.
Ayaan chased stories the world was too afraid to tell, and Tara, she was the only thing that kept him grounded in reality. He documented haunted places. She studied the human mind. Together, they believed fear was something that could always be explained. Ayaan wasn't hunting this story. The story found him. Hidden in a corner no buyer ever looked, stood the mirror no one ever touched. Her voice dropped into a whisper. It does not show the future. It does not show the living. This mirror shows only what refuses to rest. Ayaan laughed. That laugh would not survive the night. At exactly 3:16 a.m., the room's temperature dropped. Tara shivered. Ayaan pressed record, and as the clock changed, the mirror made a sound. A sound like someone breathing from inside the glass. At sunrise, Ayaan stood before the mirror again. His reflection should have moved when he moved, but for half a second, it didn't. And in that half second, Ayaan felt something watching him, not from behind the glass, but from within it. Tara didn't believe in cursed objects, but that morning, as she stood alone, she felt a breath on her neck. When she turned around, nothing was there, except the mirror, faintly reflecting someone who wasn't her. As Ayaan whispered to his viewers, the mirror shimmered, and behind his reflection, she appeared. A pale woman, hollow eyes, wet hair dripping onto the floor that made no sound. Ayaan didn't scream because he couldn't breathe. Every victim whose ghost appeared in the mirror had one thing in common. They had all died facing a mirror. This wasn't a window to the dead. This was their last prison. When Tara wiped the steam from the glass, she didn't see herself standing there. She saw herself lying, dead, eyes wide open, lips moving slowly, whispering her own name. Fear no longer chased Ayaan. It called to him. Every night at 3:17, he sat closer to the mirror, and every night the dead returned to watch him, watch them. Tara begged him to stop. She told him the mirror was changing him. Ayaan smiled and lied. He said there was nothing in the glass anymore. But even as he spoke, the mirror behind him rippled with movement. Mrs. DaCosta's hands trembled as she spoke. The mirror does not only show the dead anymore, she said. It chooses one living soul to replace them. Ayaan laughed again, but this time his reflection did not. For the first time in recorded history, something left the mirror. Tara felt her hair move, as if someone passed through her. When she turned, a wet footprint formed on the floor behind her. Ayaan didn't try to save the spirit. He tried to keep it. The mirror cracked, and so did the rules. Because the moment he imprisoned the dead, something ancient woke up inside the glass. Tara couldn't tell what was real anymore. Every reflection showed someone else, someone who had died staring at a mirror. And tonight, she realized the mirror wasn't just showing the dead, it was choosing the next one. Tara begged him to stop. She told him the mirror was changing him. Ayaan smiled and lied. He said there was nothing in the glass anymore. But even as he spoke, the mirror behind him rippled with movement. She smiled. But it wasn't her smile. Her movements were slightly delayed, her voice too flat. The mirror wasn't satisfied with observation. It was preparing her for something far worse. "The mirror doesn't just reflect souls," she said. "It needs one living body to anchor its power, and your fiancé is the next." Ayaan felt his stomach drop. Too late. The mirror already knew he was watching. Her reflection moved when she didn't. Her smile, it wasn't hers. The mirror had claimed a part of her soul. And in that moment, Ayaan realized the dead were no longer trapped, and neither was she. The mirror pulsed like a living heartbeat. Shadows stretched unnaturally. Every breath Tara took seemed borrowed. Ayaan knew. The mirror no longer needed permission. It commanded. Ayaan tried to undo what he'd started. Words older than time spilled from his lips, hands shaking. But the mirror only laughed. The glass warped, and Tara's eyes were no longer her own. One moment she was there, the next, gone. Her reflection smiled back at Ayaan, whispering his name. He lunged, but his hands met only cold air. The mirror didn't just reflect her, it held her. They came in numbers, faces pressed against the glass. Dead eyes, hungry and silent, watching him fail. The mirror didn't just trap Tara, it summoned the lost, the restless, the forgotten. He had always chased stories, never thought he would become one. The mirror had chosen its next victim, and Ayaan realized, too late, that some reflections never leave, and some souls never return. The mirror's pull was irresistible. Tara's feet lift the floor, her body suspended between reality and glass. Ayaan screamed, but the air swallowed his voice. The dead were patient, and the mirror was hungry. Every reflection showed her differently, smiling, screaming, weeping, each one closer to death than the last. And Ayaan realized the mirror didn't just trap souls, it shattered minds. The mirror wasn't just haunted, it was alive. Every soul it trapped added power. Every lie, every fear fed it. And now it hungered for Ayaan. He tried every word, every gesture he'd learned, but the mirror laughed. It had no weakness. Only one rule remained. No living soul could leave once chosen. Her body disappeared inch by inch. Her last look, not of fear, but of pleading. And in that moment, Ayaan understood. The mirror didn't just reflect souls, it consumed them. Alone, Ayaan realized the house itself had changed. Doors led nowhere. Windows showed rooms that didn't exist. The mirror wasn't just a glass, it had rewritten reality. Every step Ayaan took felt wrong. Rooms twisted, shadows moved against logic. The mirror's influence had spread, and reality was no longer his own. Among the forgotten pages, Ayaan found it, a loophole, a ritual, incomplete for centuries, claimed it could free the living, if one dared. But the risk? Everything or nothing. He had seconds. Every mistake could trap him forever. But for Tara, for himself, Ayaan prepared. The final confrontation was inevitable. It knew. The mirror sensed defiance. Shadows surged forward. Whispers became screams. Yet, for the first time, Ayaan felt a spark of control. One chance remained, and the mirror would fight with everything it had. Every word, every gesture, every drop of courage mattered. The mirror thrashed, resisting, But Ayaan had one chance to undo the impossible. The mirror fought back. Shadows reached, voices screamed. Every ounce of fear he had fed the mirror, but he refused to surrender. For a moment, silence. The mirror shuddered and released her. Tara's eyes met Ayaan's, and he knew they had survived. But something inside that glass had changed. They thought it was over. But in the corner of the mirror, a shadow remained, watching, waiting. Some reflections never leave, and some souls never truly return. They survived the night, but the mirror remained, a silent witness, holding the memory of the dead, waiting for the next reflection. Some stories never end. They just wait in the glass.